ladies and gentlemen, on this documentary we will be following the journey of this innocent creature. This is a scrub. Ladies and gentlemen, do not be mistaken. This is an incredibly toxic and dangerous creature. But most of them don't live long enough to reach maturity and become a legend. It is a very, very rare occurrence that one manages to get this far. So we are going to follow this little fellow on his journey and see where he goes. Hopefully, he will indeed go from scrub to legend. Let us follow him and see what he has to say.
Hi there! Bye-bye.
As you can see, this creature is quite fond of mocking creatures stronger than itself. As alas, it knows it cannot defeat it, so it figures deflecting the matter with humor is a good way to deal with things. Not to worry, it is just its natural defense mechanism.
Gonna get ya. Smack. And next, I'm gonna whack you. And he's dead. Anyone watching this for the story value, there's not really gonna be much to watch. I was kind of doing this for the lulz, because why not?
As you can definitively see, this creature has a tendency to skip expositional scenes as alas, it believes itself superior and has no need for the story.
Yes, blessed for those fancy folk. Otherwise I'd be out, you know, trying to do PvP and stuff. This is all about just kind of coming up here and completing the game. I have a rough idea of what I want. Oh yes, I remember the days of having 0 poise before I got my, you know, Havel's armor, or giant set, depending on my humor. Ah yes, those were the days. Free piggyback! Whee! Right, time to roast your genitals. I did pick up the fire. Burn. Toasty boy. Toasty boy. Toasty boy. Oh Jesus. Toasty boy.
Ah yes, the signature point down. Once the mating call of the scrub, once it realized it couldn't get a mate, it just kept it purely for the aggravation and insult of its defeated opponent. Before, of course, going and bragging about its victory on the Dark Souls forums.
Blah 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 blah. I will be using quit outs, so kind of be ready for that.
Ah yes, now this little fellow has reached Lord Run.
Alright, I know.
As a result of this, he is now preparing to take a gamble that only a very rare few scrubs have the nerve to take. He is going to try and brave the catacombs at this early stage of his life, in order to obtain the right of kindling and to also gain a massive souls.
Gamble, and I just forgot something.
Whether he will succeed or not depends a lot on his own personal perseverance and ability to run and grow. He will, however, be abusing the quit-out system so as to unload any hostiles following him so as to prevent them from beating his ass.
Tactic, strategy, what?
Let us see how it fares.
Right.
whereas most like to go with the melee approach. As you can see, this little fellow has a little more brains. He is utilizing his pyromancy to stun lock this creature. Oh, looks like he's decided to heal, of course, figuring he didn't want to risk his neck for something so foolish. See, in this situation, this creature cannot afford to die. If he dies, he loses all souls he has gained, and is sent right back to Firelink Shrine.
Now flee, because skeletons...
Here we go. He's taking the jump. He's landed it. But unfortunately for him, a skeleton has decided to tag along for the ride. Oh, let's see how he fares. It's a gamble. He's landed. As you can see, he has safely landed where there is a summon sign.
Are you serious?
This summon sign is for the powerful knight paladin Leroy. He is summoning him, as alas he is incapable of successfully defeating Pinwheel by himself.
Did I not establish myself?
So he figures, if he lets Leroy do all the heavy lifting, he will achieve his goal.
Last time
see
I did
how
this,
it
he
works
just
out.
stood there and did nothing instead. Okay, I'm through here. Let's be good old Leroy.
It is now time for the boss battle. Of course, he is going to wait for his co-op body to arrive. For without Leroy, it will be a short fight in Pinwheel's favour. He drops in. Traditionally,
word
of
I'm
course,
looking for?
he's
Oh,
going
yeah,
to skip
skip.
the cutscene.
Ahem. I said skip.
Because he has no time for exposition. He realizes the least he can do to assist Leroy on his way is to eliminate any clones he encounters. And
Whoa!
he's a feisty little fella, has the nerve to throw a fireball. And Leroy very quickly makes short work of Pinwheel. He has succeeded, and has now gotten the right of kindling, making him even more powerful. Now we must wait for the point down and see what mask he got.
First things first, we must mock him. That's the traditional Dark Souls way. Point down. Hell yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Giant Dan alert.
He has acquired the Mask of the Fallen, which has improved his chances of becoming a legend significantly. It saves him an additional trip back into the catacombs,
Now we have the right of
and
kindling.
the possibility
Just
of having to
OP
fight
from an early
Great
level.
Nito without anything.
Provided we have a decent supply of humanity. Now, what better way to get humanity
Let us see where he goes next.
prompt duplication?
One would assume he's going to go to Undead Berg and face off with the Taurus Demon and the Bell Gargoyles. Let's see how he fares.
Smack, smack, smack.
Ah yes, he has reached the Undead Berg bonfire, and has quite a mass of souls to spend on himself. Now we will see whether or not he goes to the Undead Merchant, as alas, every scrub gets the early game weapon, the Drake Sword, meaning he must first acquire a bow and plentiful arrows. That way he can easily snipe the tail and act like he got it in straight
The
combat.
merchant now, and I smash you. Double kill. Get on. Come at me, bro. You failed. I said come at me, not stand there like a plonker. Smash. Ooh. He came at me. He didn't miss. hit me hard enough. Get good. Basic stun lock and you didn't preserve your stamina. Scrub.
At last, he has reached the undead merchant. Let us see if he has the brains to purchase the short bow. He does. How many arrows is he going to buy? He goes for the wooden arrows. As much as he can buy more of them, they do less damage, meaning it's going to take him even longer to get the Drake sword. However, he will acquire it, I am certain.
And we are good to go. Dark Souls Remastered, Sniper Edition. Great first attempt. Do I have your attention? Look, I turned your buddy into a football. My winning powder. Winning!
Ah yes, the gold pine resin. A staple of an early game player. They, a lot like normal players, are quick to use their master key to gain any advantage they possibly can. Such as such a powerful buff this early. Now we come to the Taurus Demon boss fight.
I don't feel like taking you on.
The classic strategy in this particular instance is for this specimen to very quickly run away, climb a ladder, and perform a plunging attack, just as he did on the Asylum Demon. Since facing it the normal way is not worth it, in his opinion. Ah yes, he has buffed it with gold pine resin, which is going to give him the ability to very quickly stagger the boss and finish him off. Very good. This one will progress even
Point
further.
down we'll have to do till we get well waffles. Vanity and the homeward bone. Bone. Most original joke ever.
Time for the scrub's first encounter with a helpful NPC. Let us see how he fares with this particular specimen. Solaire of a Storm. Oh. Surprisingly, he seems not to be a brutal killer. He is interested in potentially listening to what the very strange but enjoyable Solaire has to say. Oh my.
Ow.
This appears to be his first encounter with such a strong adversary, but this is precisely what he wanted. He's taunting it in the hopes of dragging it down in order to kill the additional enemies, simply because his gluttony for souls is too strong. But because the dragon will not, he will return to the bonfire, and only come back to claim what is, in his opinion, rightfully his.
Time to go get ourselves a Drake sword. And wait, let's level up first.
Now we come to the very arduous process of shooting and farming at the tail. Unfortunately, this particular creature has very, very poor aim. as we saw by his earlier demonstration atop the tower. He must do this repetitively, until the tail eventually breaks off out of pity. Let us see if he can succeed, or if he will slip and accidentally press the wrong button and roll off a cliff, as I did when I first travelled Lord John. Ah, he's still going at it. Another shot. Successful hit. As you can see by his arrow number, he has depleted quite a lot of arrows. He can't be far now. Success!
Aha!
He has acquired the Drake Sword, which will make the first half of his journey to become a legend infinitely easier. That will be all from us today. Come back next episode to see how this little fellow fares when he attempts to ring the bells of awakening.
Haha, I outsmarted all you. I outsmarted all you losers. How dare you? Think you can best me? I will fight you one-on-one, dragon. Never mind, never mind. Ah! Wrong direction! What have I done?